So we're going to have a look today at this kind of grove of trees here. These couple large ones here by the road. And if you look at this one on the right here, we go up higher, you can see there's lots of kind of little brown things hanging up there. So those are the seed pods. What we're looking at is the black locust, or the Robinia pseudoacacia. If we want to get a closer look at the bean pods, we could climb up there, or we can just look on the ground. So luckily there's lots of these bean pods hanging out on the ground, pretty much anywhere you look. And you can see they're fairly small in size. They fit in the palm of my hand fairly easily, and they do look like a typical kind of pea or bean pod. And when you open them up, they do have little kind of black seeds inside of them. They're poisonous, so you don't want to eat them. But so this tree is most often confused with the honey locust because it has similar looking leaves. But the honey locust seed pods are much bigger than this. They're at least as big as my hand, if not longer, and they're more pointed, whereas these are kind of oval bean pod shapes. They're don't really have a very pointed tip. The other things we can look at is the bark. So the bark is pretty distinctive. It's very furrowed, very cracked, very rough, kind of grayish colored mature bark. And on younger branches, it's kind of a more pale brown with lenticels and spines at the base of each leaf bud. So let's look if I can get a better look here. So the spines occur along the leaf bud base, and if we get, maybe this one, if we get a closer look, we can actually see the leaf scar where the leaf was attached. There's kind of like 3 lobes, and so that's where the leaf was actually attached the previous year, and the 3 little sections are pretty distinctive in between these 2 spines. So the spines don't really occur on the older or the mature branches. They lose them at that point, but we often have them on these younger branches. And you can see with this big mature tree, I actually have a bunch of these younger branches kind of shooting up as suckers from the base of the tree. So that can be distinctive as well. If you look at the one over here, you can see that this one's probably the most widespread one. It's got multiple branches that go up, but it also goes quite wide. You have kind of horizontal-ish branches at the bottom. But most of them have this more kind of upright shape, like this one here. It's much taller than it is wide. So pretty upright, narrow tree. So the black locust, Robinia pseudoacacia. Sometimes you want to try and look for leaves. Well, they pretty much all disintegrate. You won't be able to find them. The only thing you might be able to find are these, the leaf stalk where the leaflets were attached. But the leaves themselves disintegrate pretty quickly, and the leaf stalks are not that helpful for identification. So yeah, if you look around on the ground, you should be able to find the bean pods, which is the most helpful trait.